What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Platform Podcast. I'm your host, Russell Jordan, and with me, as always, is Rylan Shriver. Rylan, how you doing on this beautiful Sunday?
Doing good. Ready to talk some shop about weightlifting, Russell.
Are you ready to talk some weightlifting?
I am. And just life stuff, you know.
Well, yeah, we have some other topics, but we for sure have to summarize the World Cup in Thailand.
We do. Yep.
It was funny. I was talking about it at the gym in front of some normies, and I was talking about the World Cup, and they were like, "Is the World Cup right now?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh, I didn't know the soccer world." And I was like, "Oh no."
Oh my gosh.
No.
Oh no.
Please hang up and try again. It is the Thailand Weightlifting World Cup, and it is official. I guess everything's official now. It's done.
Yep, we got the final people. There was some. We were only expecting to get one male. We got two.
I know. We'll talk about Wes's situation for sure, but that was a gritty. I don't know, like nerve wracking.
Yeah,
I can't. Got the Samoan trying to get in, and then there was Jonathan Rivas who was trying to get in, and. But it is set. We are taking 2 men and 3 women, and we should be taking like 5 women, but whatever. The rules is rules.
Yep.
So let's actually start with, we left off before Kate competed. She was the next one to compete. So let's talk about Kate's performance. She did great, man.
Yeah, I thought she did great. I thought there was the one thing that really makes me angry,
Ooh.
It really pisses me off when, especially news people or other athletes, they see. So Kate had an amazing performance.
Yeah,
I thought a lot of people weren't expecting her to hit the performance that she did.
No, she did great.
But a lot of people like to focus on, oh, you didn't make the Olympics, right? You didn't make the Olympics, but not a lot of people like to focus and say, wow, you had an amazing performance. There's really nothing to be mad at. I mean, if you did your best and you didn't come up where you wanted to finish, you can't really say anything bad about it because you did the best you can. And all you can do at the end of the day is the best you can. You can't do anything more. And people like to focus on, oh, you didn't make the Olympics. Oh, you didn't make the 151. Hey, she went under it. She Clark was at 147 or whatever it was at the last meet. And she ripped under the 51. Like, come on now. That's a good ass meet.
She qualified for the Olympics if you take out the 3 per country rule. She qualified for the Olympics in 2 different weight categories.
Yeah. And I think, honestly, she looked super good at 81. I think, my opinion, she looked way better than Maddie ever has at 81.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
By a million times.
81 seems to suit her better for sure.
And I think if she would have been 81 at the beginning of the quad, which I think she probably should have, but nobody really could have predicted Olivia being this good by the end of the quad. I think if she would have been 81 at the beginning of the quad, she would have been doing 20-50 easy. Yeah, probably 55. I mean, you saw the way she almost cleaned 51. I mean, she jerked 60 off blocks. I mean,
I know. I wish she would have made that clean because I think that would have been a real. I think she would have had a really good shot to make that jerk. But she had a great performance. So I remember I was talking to my girlfriend either the day before or the morning of, and it was like one of 3 things is going to happen. Kate's going to bomb out. Kate's going to have the day of her life and just miss it, or Kate's going to have the day of her life and qualify. And the second option, she had the day of her life and just barely missed it.
But I like how she posted, and there wasn't really anything like I was saying before. There wasn't anything that you could really. She was saying that nothing she could be upset with.
Of course, no, not at all. I mean, not at all. And in that post, she kind of hinted at the fact that she's done weightlifting.
Kinda not though. I mean,
I think she. I mean, look, you can't take her word. I mean, not that I think she's lying, but it's been a really rough quad. It's been a very emotional quad. I think for a lot of the weightlifters. Yeah, like I think she's probably like, I'm so fucking done with this shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that's how she feels right now. Well, I want to wait and see, 4, 5, 6 months afterwards how she's feeling. But in that post, I think she made it very clear, like, she made it sound like she would do another couple international meets, but like, this is it.
I don't see though if she's going to do a couple other international meets. I hope she does 81, or whatever. Russell? Do you think they're going to restructure the weight classes again?
I hope they do.
I hope they do.
Give me all the chaos. The weight classes suck. I could go on an hour-long rant about how bad the weight classes are.
I mean, I think say they're the same. God forbid that happen. Oh my gosh! I don't want to start. That's gonna make me so angry. But say she's able to be like 80 kilos or so, and she's able to be a little bit heavier, and say she's able to take like some time off, air quotes, like she's still doing rehab and stuff. Make sure she's not getting too out of shape and still squatting and pulling, just eating her vegetables. I think like she's gonna do a few meets at that heavier weight class after that body weight's been sitting on a little bit longer, and I'm sure she'd probably be surprised and be like, hey Spencer, I think I can make another run at the Olympics and get another silver medal. I mean,
I think I mean, how old is she? She's in her mid-20s, right?
Yeah, like maybe like 23 or 24. She's not very old at all.
No, she's definitely not old. But it's really like, you got to think of the next quad that's 4 years. So like if she's in her mid-20s, she could easily get another quad out if she wanted it.
Yeah, right? And easy. And I think, we saw Maddie posted, and she was saying that she is going to make another run at the Olympics.
Did she?
She did. She did say that she's.
That.
Yeah, she was talking about the nerve damage and what nerve issue she's got going on. I think it was. And
interesting. So she said she's for sure going again.
I do have dyslexia, but that's what I was told.
Or she's for sure attempting it again.
Yeah. I mean,
okay. Well, look, the next one's in America, so I think a lot of athletes are going to try to qualify for that. That's like a big deal. And
how many? I think we're going to get 3 spots again as well.
I don't know. Spots. Do we know what the stipulations are for?
No, I don't think. We just now found out who's going for this quad in Paris, and they're probably going to come out way later and be like, you get 1 per country.
1 per country.
1 per country.
Not even at 1 man, 1 woman.
Yeah.
You just get 1.
Yeah,
not even
Olivia. It'll be Olivia then.
It would be Olivia, yeah.
Or Hampton. Yeah.
So. If we just had to send one of each, that's definitely who it would be.
Yeah, 100% it would be. But I'm just saying I don't see Kate coming back and doing a few international level meets and being like, I call it quits, because you've only seen her get better.
Yeah. This quad was a struggle for a lot of people, but overall she has improved in the quad. It just seemed like the upcoming of Olivia and her having to kind of scramble to find a new weight class was ultimately her demise.
Yeah.
But let's move on to the men's 102s. Obviously, Wes Kitts did not compete, but the pieces fell. The pieces fell. The pieces fell in the right positions, and we are sending 2 men. Wes Kitts is going to the Olympics via the continental spot, which surprisingly, a lot of people did not know that existed. I had a lot of people messaging me after Wes posted "See you in Paris." They were like, "Does he know that he's not going?" And I was like, "Do you know that he is?" Via the continental spot, so he will be there.
Yep, that's hype here. I got the 2024. I got the qualifications pulled up. So the person, Don Opa, he's from Samoa. Another 102 athlete from Samoa. He was holding the spot,
the continental spot. Yeah.
Yep. Then he moved up into top 10, bumping off Reza Dadar, which is crazy. So,
yes,
Reza Dadar,
that's right.
Reza Dadar from Iran is not going. He did 391, and Samoa did 391. Yeah, Iran did 390. Yeah, kiloed him. Wesley's got the 388, and he got the continental spot, and he's going.
It's crazy just the way things fall, that Kate is top 10 in 2 weight classes and not going, and Wes is 14th in his weight class and is going. It's just wild.
And we still got some sleepers here. Like we saw Li Huanhua pop off. Boo-hoo. Like we saw.
he's got to be the favorite, right?
Who cares? No, I don't want him to win. So we got China.
That's not what the favorite means. It's not who you want. It's who the money's on.
Yeah. I mean, he did a 413. He did a good total. Then
he did a good total.
Garrett Karapatian 401. Then Meso Osona. He's like fallen off. I mean,
yeah.
Everybody loves the big clean and jerk. Like, yeah, that's sick. But I mean, if you're only going to snatch 175 like that, 230 clean jerk ain't going to be doing so much. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Then you got Yohani Sakantsu from Belarus. He's an alias right now, but
right.
I mean, he's super strong. Korea, nah. Lesman,
the Bahrainian.
yeah, Lesman could. I mean, you never really know. Like, if he snatches 190 and like a 220, like that's dangerous, man. You really,
yeah, but Lesman doesn't have the clean and jerk.
Hey, you never know. You never know. I don't know how much he weighed in at. Maybe I can click on it and see, because I want to like see how tall he is. No, it doesn't.
Tall boy.
Yeah, he looks
tall at least.
Tall. Yeah. So let's see. Then also another person also need to be watching out for, the Jarive Akbar.
So I'm really curious because Akbar put up a good total at 109.
Mm-hmm.
He was already qualified at 102. Didn't need to be 102. But I think Akbar is probably the one person who could take it from Lee Wanhua.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Jarive Akbar do 205 snatch training, 242 clean and jerk, probably weighing like 114. And he's a big dude. Like, I don't see that he's going to be able to lose that much muscle mass and still be able to do that. I mean, I could be wrong. He was a junior not long ago. He is still very young. He is a 102. Yeah. He did like a 225 clean and jerk and like a 185 snatch. So is that going to be enough to do it? Like, and you also got to think, at the Olympics, are people going to be playing it safe? Like, did they have a bunch of progenics leading up to the meet? Or are they trying, like,
right?
You really don't know. Are people like balling out? Like, are they going crazy? Are we going to show up and everybody has their second wave of puberty? You really don't know.
Well, yeah, we'll find out in like 5 months.
Yeah.
But the 102s, I think, was a weight class that I was hoping would be really exciting, and it just kind of hasn't been.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think people really, at that last meet, they weren't worried about fighting with each other for placement. I mean,
right,
for
podium. Yeah. They were just trying to get.
Everybody was playing their own game. Which, side note, just play your own game, and you're gonna.
That's what you should do always. Yeah, I agree.
Play your game. You know, don't worry about other people. Like, just keep your blinders on and just do what you got to do. But yeah, I think 102. I think for the Olympics is going to be amazing. I hope Lee Wanhua does not get first place. I think it'd be cool for Jarive Akbar to be. I mean, he's 109 champion last Olympics, and his teammate was 105 champion. They both totaled the same exact thing. I think it'd be cool to see Akbar again up there. But is Meso Osona also going to win the Olympics? You really don't know.
Yeah, exactly. We don't really know what kind of shape everyone's in. I know Wes is hurt right now, so hopefully by the time the Olympics rolls around, he'll be able to put together a decent total. All right, let's move it on to the women's 81 plus. Officially, Athlete Mary.
Coach Mary.
Athlete Mary.
She's now Athlete Mary. Yeah.
She's now Athlete Mary.
I was listening to the commentary and Seb actually called her Coach Mary. He's like, oh, yeah,
that was Instagram.
I was like, that's hilarious.
He was like, Coach, and then he goes, Mary Tyson laughing.
Yeah.
He went to refer to her as Coach Mary too. And, I was watching Kate's session and Seb mentioned that Will and Mary were in the audience watching. That's got to be so weird because, like, Kate's trying to take your spot. You're not in the same weight class, but Kate's trying to jump you to take your spot.
You're like,
but you're like,
are you cheering? Are you cheering?
Dude, I was thinking the exact same thing. Like, are you supporting her?
Are you being like? Remember, there's the 2016 Olympics, and Losh is coming up for his 258, and you got all the Armenian crowd. Is it the Armenians? I believe the Armenians are just booing him. They're like, boo, and he walks up, man, flexes his bicep. Have you seen that clip? Yeah, he walks up and he like flexes his bicep and like got everybody like booing him. Like, are they in the crowd like hoping she misses, or are they? I mean, I don't know. That's a tough spot.
Well, we're gonna have Will on in the next couple weeks, and we will ask him.
I want some more North Korean stories.
Yeah, we should have some good ones from this week because there was a lot of North Koreans. But yeah, it's a very interesting dynamic that happened with this quad. But Mary is in the 5th spot. Her total from Doha holds true at 283. I don't think anyone's going to challenge Lee Wenwen for an Olympic gold medal. I think Lee Wenwen is guaranteed a gold medal as Lasha.
The only thing you can hope for Lee Wenwen is you hoping for after meet drug testing medal taken.
You're hoping that she gets caught using what she's using and that they actually fucking
exactly. Then everybody gets bumped up. Like say Mary gets 4th and she's a bronze medalist. I mean, you don't get the publicity. It's not nearly the thing. Like it's not nearly as good, but you still be bronze medalist. Everybody will know. I mean, like Harrison.
Yeah. So right now, Mary is 5th. She is 3 kilos off 4th place and 4 kilos off 3rd place. The Korean, South Korean, obviously. Really really good. She's pretty much got 2nd on lock. So it's going to be a battle between this girl from Thailand, Emily Campbell from Great Britain, and Mary Tyson Lappin.
I can't even imagine going into that. Like, it's not like you're like, oh man, our snatch is real good. Our clean and jerk is real good. We just need to both increase both of them. Like, Mary, she's got the clean and jerk, right?
Yeah.
The clean and jerk is you need just do what you do in the clean and jerk, and she's gonna be good. But if she can snatch like 125,
she's gonna put herself in a real good spot. But that's gonna be a great battle for that podium, that bronze spot for the plus women. Moving on to the plus men. We are not sending any Americans. Kane wasn't able to get the continental
11th
spot. Yeah, because David Leedy wasn't able to jump into the top 10. So David Leedy will be taking the continental spot for this area, I guess. What's really weird? I don't know how this works, but they were talking about Jonathan Mosquera taking the continental spot from Wes Kitts. But my geography isn't super good. But Jonathan Mosquera is from Colombia. And I'm pretty sure Colombia is in South America, which is a different continent. So I don't know why it's called the continental spot, but obviously it's maybe like a regional continental spot. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like how many.
It's probably like a Pan Am spot. It's probably like a Pan Am spot, right?
Because that's exactly. I thought.
So it's not actually divided by continent.
Would that mean there'd be like a European spot, because you have like the Pan Am region, and I
don't know, Europeans, Asians, Oceania. I think that's how it is. I'm not entirely sure.
Then why would a Samoan
be in the? I don't know.
Well, that doesn't make much sense, because I was like, wait, hold up, we got a Samoan here
because they could be in Oceania, right?
They do, yeah. Then I was like, wait, hold the boat. Why? Now, why is Wes have it? That doesn't make any sense. But we got an American going. That's all that matters. Let's go.
Yeah. So for the plus men, unfortunately, Kane not going. We kind of saw that coming. Medina, again, I think Medina's next quad is going to be Medina's quad to push. You know what I mean? Like, he was a pretty new 109 plus at the start of this quad anyways. But what is there to say about 109 plus? Lasha's going to win.
Oh, man. Yeah,
I know. And Lalian are going to battle for 2nd, and that's pretty much it. You know what I mean?
Everybody's saying that Lasha looks in bad shape, but I mean,
that doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? Like,
it's looking like it's going to be his last one. Is all.
You think so? I mean, he's in his 30s now, right?
If
he's
not
late 20s at least. 30. Yeah.
I'm thinking it's going to be. It's probably going to be his last. I'm probably going to. He's never going to total 500. I don't think we're ever going to see a 500 total.
No, because especially now, like, there's no one even close to pushing him.
He's never going to total 500.
We might see some videos of him totaling 500 in training after he's done.
No, I don't even.
It might get released. You don't think so?
I don't think he's in now. I don't think he.
Maybe not in the same day, but maybe putting up a heavy enough snatch and a heavy enough clean and jerk at some point.
You think from like years ago he did it?
Yeah. And they're just not releasing the videos because he's still competing and there's no point.
Well, I mean, I heard Somebody was saying that he did some big block snatch, but I've never really seen him do too many block snatches. I don't really know. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, there's still new like weightlifting videos that pop out every few weeks that I've like never seen before, and I've seen most weightlifting videos.
Released. Yeah.
Like, what the heck are you talking about? But I mean, you'll see like a random Russian snatching like 200. You're like, what in the world? I mean, they're everywhere. It could happen.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know what goes on in training, especially since before there was like easily accessible social media and cameras.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you got poor Gabriel saying they couldn't even bring his phone in to training and whatnot. Gabriel Sincran.
Oh, whatever with that guy.
Yeah.
All right. Olympics are set. We obviously care a lot about Team USA. So let's talk about Team USA. Let's talk about the most recent episode of The Final Attempt.
Did I watch it?
Did you watch it?
Ooh. Maybe I did. Okay, keep talking about it, and I think I watched it. Got to refresh my memory.
It got released like last week or the week before. It's pretty recent. You may have not seen it.
I think I did see it.
You did? Okay. Well, it's mostly covering Maddie withdrawing, Haley withdrawing.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, and it was a really interesting. I feel like everyone get your. Here comes Russell's hot take thing.
Here we go.
I feel like the mental side of weightlifting in the U.S. is not trained well. We have some freak athletes, but the mental side is not trained as well as it's not optimized like everything else, right?
Do you feel? Okay, I'll let you finish your statement. Then I got.
I was to say like athletes are good at optimizing their training, their recovery, their nutrition, mindset stuff. One of the things that jumps into my head first is Jordan was talking about how she was on the phone with Spencer. And this is after Spencer already knew that Haley had withdrawn. Mm-hmm. And she's like ranting and talking about how nervous she is and this and that. And Spencer's just letting her go on and on and on. She's like, oh, how are you feeling? And he goes like, oh, well, I'm pretty confident. At this point, he already knows that Haley's withdrawn. Mm-hmm. And then she was like, and then I started ranting again about why he shouldn't be confident and all this stuff. And it was just like so much worrying about things outside of your control, like what could happen, what might happen if this happens. And also, after seeing that, if I'm Haley, I'm thinking I had her right where I wanted her.
Rent free, baby.
You got Jordan ranting days before the biggest meet of her life about how she doesn't think she's going to do it. Haley had her right where she wanted her.
I think, man. And as Haley seeing that though, it's like
I'm sure. I'm sure she saw it now. I don't think she knew at the time.
No, she had no idea.
Keep pushing, man.
She had no idea she had a mansion built up in her dome. She had a mansion built. Like she was living up there rent free. Like she's living up there. She didn't even know. I think one of the things that I was going to ask you, do you think it's other countries that practice better mental game, or are the athletes just better at dealing with it?
I think it's honestly, I think it's like an American thing. Glenn Pendley used to talk about this sometimes, but like the reason that America isn't dominant in weightlifting is because of like the way we live in America versus other countries.
Okay.
Like when you watch those old Bulgarian documentaries, it's like they would go to the gym and train as hard as they could every day. And that's just what they did. There was no social media. There was no posts. There was no sponsors. There was no, maybe I'll get famous from this. They would just do it because that's what they did.
Yeah,
right?
That's what it's supposed to do.
And the US were very individualistic. Social media is very big, especially with like younger athletes and stuff. And, it's like seeing all the posts afterwards, I get that the quad was very like mentally exhausting for the handful of athletes involved. But you get all these, I've been seeing a lot of posts from athletes saying like, oh, to all my fellow, Americans, like, I'm so proud of you and this and that. And to me, I'm like, why don't you send them that personally? Like, why are you posting this on social media? Like that, what you're posting applies to 0.000000001% of your followers. Like maybe 2 or 3 were actually in the quad with you. Right. And so I think it just kind of comes back to this whole, the mindset of the athletes here, I think leaves a little to be desired. And I don't want to say anyone's like mentally weak or anything. I don't think any of them are mentally weak. That's why I say it's not optimized. It's not as good as it could be, and then, Maddie's thing was weird. I feel weird that I know about what happened in her personal marriage. She like kind of talked about that.
Yeah,
that
now that
was
we're talking about it
strange,
more,
unnecessary to comment on. I thought it was weird that Amy, her coach, was like, "Oh, is Maddie gonna have babies?" Like that's to me just like a thing a coach shouldn't be concerned or talking about in public.
Coach is coach.
I mean, look, none of this is personal, as I've said on here before, but like Amy Everett coaching Maddie over an Olympic quad to qualify for the Olympics a hobby to me was like extremely embarrassing and insulting to every other coach on that quad, to like her athlete, to Maddie. Like it saying that like, oh, this is just a hobby. Like USAW isn't paying me to do this.
Then
like,
also
like you can't. They're basically saying at the top of your lungs, like, I don't care that much.
Then going into kind of the other part, dropping down 2 weight classes, talking about Olivia, 71. Steve, you got Steve talking about when he first started coaching, and I don't think he has a very big club.
No, he doesn't.
He has a smaller club. And Steve was talking about, if I remember correctly, that he could barely make ends meet coaching. And you got Steve doing it because he loves it. And look whose athlete is far better.
Well, here's the thing, right? Is look, I know USAW doesn't pay any of the coaches. They don't.
Yeah,
right?
that's its own deal.
But Amy makes her money from coaching. So to say coaching Maddie is not your job is completely disingenuous. Like, I know Amy does the weightlifting program for Matt Fraser's CrossFit thing. You think you got that job if you're not coaching Maddie Rogers? Because I don't. I don't think you got that job. Like, don't say that's not your job when your job is to be a weightlifting coach. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, USAW isn't paying you directly, but like, again, I found it to be a little insulting to like every other coach, basically saying like, this is just a hobby. Like, I don't take this serious. It was just weird. The whole thing was weird. The way a lot of these athletes talk about their performances in the quad, again, it shows me that they're very much concerned over things they can't control. They let their minds spiral. And that's why I just say that like their mindset isn't optimized. Like, do you think if you went and interviewed Nino and Carlos, they'd be like, oh man, I was so worried, or Lee Wen or any of them, right? Like, no, like they just do weightlifting because that's what they're supposed to do. And they do the best they can.
Talking about, so from like a non-American standpoint, I believe Seb and Max were talking about when they talking about Meso, and they were asking Meso, how confident are you winning the Olympics? And he like looked at them and said, like, I'm 100% confident. And I mean, I'm not there. I can't see Meso talking about how confident he feels that he's going to win the Olympics, but I believe that's why he's that point. He's the 1% better, stereotypical. 1% better than everybody else, because he fully believes, even though physically he may not be there, but mentally, I think more mentally.
He's there.
I've said it before. Mentally being there is more important than physically being there, because you can't.
The mind drives the body, baby.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, I can't wait to get Will on, because I'm going to ask him about the final attempt and like his experience with it, and like, you know, all these different coaches and athletes stuff, and seeing different like strategies that coaches use with athletes. Mm-hmm. And like I said, like obviously all of these coaches have developed insane athletes. Like you can't knock them for that.
Oh yeah.
But again, the mindset side of things, which I personally think is the hardest to train for an athlete. Like if you're an athlete who trains every day, like the physical part is just what it is. Like you expect it, you've done it for a long time, you know. The mindset stuff gets real nitty gritty and like uncomfortable, like very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But you got to get there. And so, you know, I don't know if USAW has the ability to do that, but I think like a sports psychologist or something.
I believe
that kind of things. I think do they?
Though. I think they do. I don't see that they wouldn't though. I don't see that they wouldn't have one. I mean,
I know they have like so that's the thing. They have like a nutritionist, right? Or a dietitian or whatever.
Yeah, something like
that. But then
all
these athletes work with like their own too, because they'll post like, oh, I get my nutrition from so-and-so or whatever. So like, I don't know how that works. Like, are they actually working with the USAW athletes, or is it just someone on staff? I don't know.
What do you think as an athlete? What do you feel like being in the bulletproof mental space looks like for you? Say you're going into a meet and you're preparing physically, mentally. How do you feel? Like what are you talking about? Yeah, like how are you feeling?
It's as simple as this. it's a really complex thing to get to, but it's as simple as this: knowing that giving 100% effort is enough. And that's it. And that, because all that means is that you will do the best you can do, and that's all you can do, and everything else is out of your control.
Yeah, I think
right. Like that's that. It can get way more complex than that, but to summarize it, that's literally all it is.
Because
like, I will do the best I can, and that's all I can do, and everything else is outside of my control, and I'm not even gonna fucking worry about it.
Because it seems to me that so like Jordan and whatnot and Haley, because we're talking about them because they're going back and forth for so long, and it turns out that Haley really was getting Jordan, which I didn't expect, and I think nobody else expected.
No, I did not either. And when she said that, I was like, oh damn.
In it's I don't know. I don't have it on pen. I don't have it on paper. How much her performance would have possibly increased or mentally how much better she would have been doing, but if she just would have worried about just let me do whatever I can do and not worry about anybody else. It's really easy to like just say that, but just worrying about whatever you can do. Like if, when you're going to your first local meets and you're worried about, oh my gosh, I'm worried about this, I'm worried about that. But at the end of the day, you go 6 for 6 and you do what you can do. I mean, you can't be like, oh man, I wish I snatched 170. Shut up. Just you had a great day. You had a great day. Just you gotta accept the wins, because as you get better and better in weightlifting, the wins are just fewer and far between.
So there's like this theory in psychology and sports psychology, but regular psychology too, called like radical acceptance, which is where like as soon as something happens, there's no point in giving it a second thought. Like you accept it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's hard to get to because things like emotions and all that stuff comes in. But again, it's realizing that you are not in control of your emotions, right? You feel how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
You are in control of how you respond to those emotions.
Yeah.
You could be mad, sad, angry, happy, even whatever. You may not be able to control how you feel, but you can control your actions in response to how you feel. So it's like, you're trying to qualify for the Olympics. Someone beats you and you want to just like freak out, punch a wall, cry, whatever it is. That's how you feel, but that doesn't mean you have to do any of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's where like mindset training and stuff comes in, of like understanding that like you are ultimately in control. Accountability is huge. Another thing I think we didn't see enough of in this quad from Team USA, but like shit happens. We talked about this a while ago. Like when we talk about these athletes, like it's hard to not make it personal, because like if we were sitting here talking about LeBron James and like Jason Tatum and a bunch of NBA players, we'd be like, oh yeah, that guy sucks, whatever. Like they're never going to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
I know for a fact, because people have contacted me on Instagram and been like, why are you talking shit? And I have to be like, I'm not talking shit. Like,
you're just saying,
relax.
just in general. It's so weird.
Work on your mind game.
Yeah, it's so weird because weightlifting, it's such a small sport, and you got two dudes.
I could run into these people.
You get a freaking Kane Wilkes pulling up in your gym, which he does regularly. Pop up in your gym, in your training. It's in no other sport does that happen. You're not going to have LeBron James pull up at your 24-hour fitness and start ripping on people. Like that's just not going to happen. Yeah.
And that's the thing is like, the goal with the podcast and everything is like, we're just analyzing. You know what I mean? Like we're just giving our opinions and analyzing. Mm-hmm. and yes,
I mean, realistically, we could have been doing this podcast for probably since like 2021. You got your gym open.
Mm-hmm.
What year did your gym open?
2021.
Yeah, 2021. We come in there and you just do some lifts and just talk shop. You just hang a mic down from the middle, and it would be the
conversations we have on here happen in weightlifting gyms every single
day. And I mean it just it happens with everybody. It's not that you have a personal how am I trying to say?
I got no personal beef with any weightlifter in this squad.
They're much better than you and I.
One. And I'm never going to say who it is on the show, but I'll tell you later.
We'll talk about it after.
It's not anyone that anyone is thinking right now. They would be shocked if they heard who my personal beef is with. And it's like not even serious beef. It's very tiny and kind of funny. But anyways, okay. That's my rant on the final attempt, which was a really cool insight into
You think Wills, or you think Will Brault is going to be able to get in like the Olympics and like film some of the stuff there. That would be sick.
I'm assuming so. Why wouldn't he be able to
get into Paris and like film?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it was hard getting like a filming pass there.
I think for media like that, like especially because he has like an enormous catalog of work, I'm sure they'll let him because Hook Grip gets there every year, right?
But Hook Grip's Hook Grip.
Right. Well, I mean, I guess, yeah. I don't know, like if there's like politics or something that goes into it, but I'm assuming the final attempt is going to run through,
the
Olympics. Yeah.
I'm
David on the chat board. David's been on the chat board. What's up, David? He said NBC owns all the media rights. I think they just have the broadcast rights, though. I think you could still post pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
I think those are different.
It sucks that NBC has it. I really wish Weightlifting House has it or would have had it.
Yeah, but like NBC probably spends millions, if not billions, of total dollars to have like all of the Olympics, right? They have everything.
Yeah, but they don't know what they're. I mean, then you're gonna have who normally commentates it. You're gonna have
Oh God, dude! If it's Michaela Breeze, Oh, dude, please God, no. God, yeah, no. We need Seven Max on the Olympics, man.
Yeah, I mean.
Can I just say that
for Sean Waxman, just get Sean Waxman and JP Nicoletta. They commentated 2017 in Anaheim, and it was great.
It was.
Sean has a great voice. JP is so smart when it comes to weightlifting. Just get them two on it, and it will be great. That's all you need.
Oh, fuck, I was gonna say it was really cool to watch since Weightlifting House started doing the international streams. How much better Seb and Max have gotten at like doing commentary together. You know, you build like chemistry and stuff. You know when someone else is going to talk. You kind of like when you're doing commentary. And like, dude, they were in peak form for Thailand.
And that was funny. Awesome. It's funny. I for years would always listen to the Weightlifting House podcast. Like when Seb like just started. Like, I've probably listened
with Pendlay.
Yeah, and I'd listen to them all the time, and Pendlay progressively got worse, and it was sad.
Yeah,
super sad when he passed, and he would pop on with Josh, and Josh would talk. Then he would get a whole bunch of people on, and they would just talk shop about weightlifting. It was awesome. Then now coming from that, then I remember when he first kind of slipped in the idea, oh, my dream is to get like broadcast weightlifting, be Weightlifting House and like broadcast all the way from, and it's crazy seeing him doing that.
It's happening.
Awesome.
Yeah. No, it's great. They do a really good job, I think, because you know in the Western countries, weightlifting is not as big as it is in other parts of the world.
It used to be on like Eurosport. Like you can find
old YouTube videos where it's on Eurosport. Like
it'll be like Russian or something.
Yeah, you can't find like old weightlifting broadcasts in the US. Like it wasn't really a thing. So the Olympics should be cool. I hope there's a way, especially now with streaming. I feel like, you know, there's going to be like a way to watch weightlifting live.
I hope. I was talking about it with Hannah, and we're saying I'm going to wake up whatever time I need to wake up in order to watch the session.
So I know this from being a huge soccer fan. A lot of their stuff, sports-wise, starts between like 5 a.m. and like 11 a.m. our time. So I don't think it's going to be that crazy. Like Japan sucked because it was in like the middle of the night, right? But I think a lot of their stuff's going to be watchable for us, assuming the weightlifting starts the same time as like other sports.
And it's just going to be a session, correct?
Yes, one session per weight class, which is, I think that's kind of how the Olympics should be, but it is a little weird at the same time. Like the B session at the Olympics, when you really think about it, like, is that necessary? Like it's supposed to be the best of the best. Like there kind of should just be one session for the Olympics. I get it for Worlds and all that other stuff. But when you're talking about like the pinnacle of the sport, one session makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think it should also be as many. I don't care how many countries, lifters from a certain country. If you're good enough to go, you're good enough to go.
I mean, you'd have China. You'd have like China with 20 people.
Not really. Least. Like they would they would have 2 in a weight class at most.
Oh, you're saying 2 max?
No, I'm saying that's the only, they would have 2 at most.
Yeah, you never know.
But yeah, if you only have 12 spots and 2 of them are going to China, like I get why the rules are what they are. So that's going to conclude our Olympic coverage for now. the podcast until the Olympics. We'll probably do a little bit of preview stuff, but we'll get back to actually talking about like training and programming and recovery and technique stuff and all that good shit that we used to talk about that we kind of stopped the past 6 months because of how crazy this quad has been. But before we sign off today, Ryland, I want you to talk about, you dropped a little teaser at the end of the last episode about you are moving. What?
Yeah. So I moved from Cali to
best state in the world.
Moved from Cali to Michigan for college, then graduating with a health and PE degree. And it's weird because I know there's a bunch of like younger lifters that listen, but like it's crazy. When you like graduate college, they really mean like you can go anywhere. Like you don't need to stay
free as a bird now.
It's weird because in the places that you like, the places I feel comfortable in are California and where I've been staying in Michigan. So I was looking at like staying either of those places.
Right.
I don't have enough money to be living in California. It's so expensive.
Bro, nobody does.
And in where the college town that I'm in Marquette up in Michigan, it's crazy expensive. It was like $1,700 for a 500 square foot studio.
Damn, dude, that's like worse than here.
And it was like a pretty nice place, but I was like, hey, like I'm getting married next summer. Nuts. I was like, I want to be living in an okay place. Anyways, crazy expensive. Then Hannah had talked to me before. I've been battling like a shoulder injury and my rib's been pissed off. And she had said, this was probably like 2 months ago, a month and a half ago. She said, well, how do you feel about moving to Georgia? Because I've been coached under Tripp for a bit, and I was only able to be work under Tripp for a bit. Then my shoulders started bugging me, and she said, "Oh, how do you feel about moving to Georgia right now?" And I said, "Oh man, it's a possibility, but I'm just trying to think about finishing out school because I've been student teaching. Finishing out school, then we'll see wherever I go. So the plan is graduate college, which I do on May 4th." Be in Illinois for a bit over the summer, then basically up and move. So we move into outside of Atlanta, Georgia, not in Atlanta, outside of Atlanta, Georgia. It's a plan. So
to train with the man himself.
Yeah, to train with Tripp. I just figured his son's pretty okay
does this
weightlifting.
Mean you'll also be training with Hamp?
Yeah.
You're gonna get to train in that cool ass gym he's got?
Yeah,
dude,
fun.
that's sick. You gonna start popping in those videos?
Yeah, so I mean the plan going in for get my shoulder looked at again next Tuesday, or this upcoming Tuesday, actually, I think. See what that's all about. So yeah, trying to get
your full send.
Yeah, trying to get everything all healed up, for not worried about too much about training. I've been doing what I can, been doing a bunch of bodybuilding, trying to build some lean tissue.
You said you were trying to like keep weight on, right?
Yeah, trying to keep weight on. When you're not training as much, you lose some weight. Pants aren't fitting as good as they used to. It's unfortunate, but yeah, just trying to stay in as good a shape as I can and get my body healthy for when we move out to Atlanta, because not focused on like the 2 years to 3 years down the road. It's like further than that, because I'm still 21. Like if
you got 2 quads left in you, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too worried about it'd be amazing to make this next upcoming Olympics, but it could always happen that I make the next
Bro,
one.
if Olivia Reeves has taught me anything, it's that you can come out of the quad at any point as long as it's not like the last 6 months and you got a shot, dude.
Yeah, so right now I'm just trying to get my body right and everything and get moved down to near Tripp. Yeah, so applied a bunch of teaching jobs. We'll see. The plan is if we don't get jobs, we're just going to sub full-time down there. Rent's far cheaper than it is here in California by a mile. So yeah, it's weird. As soon as you graduate college, Russell and I kind of talked about it off air, said it's really weird like moving somewhere just like to train, because I mean I'm moving with my partner and it's like, hey, we're moving down there for me. It's like if I like shit the bed, God forbid, it's like, oh, like we made that decision together to like move down there. It's really
you got crazy. A couple things going for you, right? You're young. Now's the time in life where you should be figuring shit out. Where you're moving isn't super expensive, so you're not going to be wasting a ton of money, and you're going to get good life experience training with Tripp. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, Ham's been training by himself for so long; it'd be good for him to have a training partner.
But just don't let him outlift you, bro.
Yeah, I think also seeing like a little 61 kilo dude
Putting
like
up the same clean and jerks as
clean
you?
and jerk at 180. It's like it's really going to put in perspective. Like, okay, you're not doing shit. Like,
Yeah.
load up 200 on the bar. Well, a world record, what it would be. Like, load up world record on the bar, then let's see you do it. Like, that's what it would be.
Yeah.
So, it's pretty crazy. It's like training with a world record holder all the time. I don't know what Pendelay came up and said what the percentage is of training with training partners, how much it adds per year, but I think he had it down. It was like 3 or 4%, something like that.
Dude, training with people and especially with a coach is invaluable, infinitely better than
because I've only trained with a coach full time. So I trained with coach up here until the program got cut, which I got way better than I trained at home, and I got much better just because I was young, work with a coach and do some programming. I mean, I got better. And then being like under a coach, all the like under the watchful eyes of like Trip all the time and having everything on lock, like how much air I breathe a day, it's going to be
having your oxygen intake monitored.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. I feel like just trying to get everything, my body right before I get down there. So that's what I've been worried about now. So that's kind of what I teased last podcast. So
no,
I'm excited.
That's great. Like, having a full coach, training partner type deal, like that's massive.
That was one of the things I was looking for I was thinking about getting when I was going to get a new coach and everything. I was like, man, I'm going to get one more coach and I'm not switching coaches like once again in my life. Like this would be the last coach that I have. And I was like, I need who's the best? Like, who's the best? Like Trip's the best. So
I would agree.
Call Trip up and talk about that. So yeah, that's where I'm at, Russell.
No, that's exciting. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I preach that all the time on here. Like, I talk about how when I moved to Delta, like, it completely changed my everything when it came to weightlifting. I, at your age, moved out to train with one Jonathan North back in the day.
With the name, yeah.
Yeah, and wasn't quite the experience I was hoping it would be, but I did learn a lot, But I think finding someone whose job it is to be a coach is massive. And when I say that, I mean not someone whose job it is to be a weightlifter, not someone whose job it is to be a content creator, someone whose job it is to be a coach. And that's what I found at Delta. And it was like night and day compared to anything I'd ever done in weightlifting. So like if you're out there, young weightlifting person, old weightlifting person, whatever, find a coach that gives a shit and their job is to coach, not do anything else.
Yep.
And fucking go for it. Get on a team, get off your online program. It probably sucks. No shade, but like, come on, go find a team, go train. Like, it's weightlifting is so weird. I think it's because the sport is like training in a sense where it's like sets and reps and stuff. But like, can you imagine like a young high school basketball player being like, I'm not going to play for my high school team. I train remotely with a coach, like the coach from some other place.
Yeah, from another state or something.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's so weird.
Yeah.
But that's like what everything else is becoming, right?
I talk about this too much on here, but
in
it's
person.
Sales. It's sales. They just want, you are nothing but a dollar sign.
Russell, think about it this way. You got the top two athletes. So you got Olivia and you got Hamp.
I was going to talk about this.
Who are their coaches, though? I bet 99% of the people can't even tell me who Olivia's coach is.
I can't tell you his name. I literally don't know his name.
Steve.
Yep.
Steve Bauer. Steve Bauer.
Steve Bauer. Yep.
It's like F. Bauer.
Yeah.
Then
Bauer.
Also,
but you know what? That's a good person because their job is to coach their
exactly
athlete.
100%.
Not to make videos, not to qualify for nationals themselves, not to sell more online programming. They are.
And you got Trip.
It's
100% invested. He is just as invested as his son is. And that's the thing
too, is like when I talk about content creation, because that's become such like a stupid fucking buzzword and like everyone's trying to be a content creator and don't even get me started. But like Trip posts on social media and he posts good stuff. Like he has a social media presence, but you could tell it's not like he wakes up and is like, I got to put out 6 videos this week. You know what I mean? Like I need to hit. It's like he's just putting out information to put out information.
Yeah,
and those are the kind of people you want. Yeah. Bro, I can't even tell. I posted one on my Instagram a couple months ago, and it was like this guy who was like trying to be a weightlifting coach. Like, and when I say trying, I mean like it was clear that's what his online persona was designed to be. And he was doing one of those like, do you jump back in your lifts? Like, this is the easiest way to fix that. And he does some stupid drill. And in each video of him performing the drill, now, mind you, this guy definitely hasn't been weightlifting for over a year. Like, he's new to the sport in general. You could just tell by the way people move, right? Like, he's moving like a noob. In the corrective drill that he prescribed, this dude jumped back in every lift. And I'm just like, how do you not even see this when you're posting the video? Like, you spend all this time making all this video content, whatever, trying to make yourself sound like some genius coach to fix jumping back. And then in the corrective drill, you're doing the mistake. Like, I can't with social media sometimes. I fucking can't. I cannot.
Yeah, I don't want to. I did not want to deal with anything like that. Just wanted to coach with a few athletes to focus on me.
You lucked out, man. That's like you hit the jackpot with that one.
That's what I wanted. But it's it's frightening thinking like moving down to a state that I've like never been to.
It'll be good, dude. Life experiences, bro. It'll be good for you.
Crazy.
You just better come out of there doing 180, 220. All right.
Hey, that's the plan. Make the Olympics. You give me a 400 total at like sub super. Don't give a
180,
shit.
220 at 109.
I could be last in the world. I don't care.
180, 220 at 109 would probably put you top 15 in the world. At least,
I'd take the shoes off. I'd probably.
You really after one?
Don't give a damn. Yeah, give me a world championships and a 400 total. I would take them off. I wouldn't even care. Yeah, just like a 400. I mean, you got Wes has done it 180 in training. You got him do the 220.
Wes's best total is 399, isn't it? He was so close to that 400.
And yeah, I think doing a total like that, coach probably wouldn't let me take the shoes off, but I would be like, I'm done. I did what
dude, if you're like under 25 and you hit a 400 total, no one's like, yeah, you should retire.
Yeah.
No one's going to let you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, 25, would that be right around like the 2020? Yeah, it'd be right around the 2024 Olympics.
2028.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. 2024 Olympics are about to happen. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the 2016 Olympics are still about to happen, and we got friggin' Ruslan and like Sarab going to compete. It's like, what in the world? Now we got 2024.
I still remember waking up and being pissed off that Akayev, Delega, and Klokov didn't compete in 2012. Right?
Yeah.
It was like a couple days before they announced that they weren't competing.
That's before my time, but I remember like going back and watching all them, and I think the commentary, they were saying that Klokov and Akayev, they got ankle injuries and they're not going to be competing.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive they said ankle injuries, and I was like, what do you mean ankle injuries? You're walking from your room to the training hall to go.
Well, that
eat,
like, that 2012 Olympics, that 105 class would have been one of the best battles in weightlifting history. And then Tarokti ended up winning. Although, to be fair to Tarokti, he did build a career off that. Like won the Olympics where none of the favorites showed up.
But didn't Tarokti get it stripped though?
It did, yeah, he did. In 2016, I think he got it.
Then who got it now?
Shit, dude, I don't even know. I have no idea.
Is it an Iranian?
I have no idea.
I want to say it's an Iranian.
I'd have to look it up. It's whoever would have gotten like 5th or 6th is now the Olympic champion.
Yeah, that's sad. I think honestly that I think we kind of talked about it last podcast, but I think that's gonna happen. I say it all the time. That's gonna happen. Harrison.
It is, and that's what like you can't remember that's gonna happen in the moment. You got to just be like, oh, this is sick, and then 6 months later, you're like, oh, none of it counted.
Yeah.
Let's just put it this way. Some Americans are going to place a lot higher than they place on the day of the Olympics. They will actually place higher when it's all said and done because there are going to be some pops.
Yeah, I hope like Lou gets it. I hope Lou gets popped. I know Lou. I know
that would be so glorious.
Everybody loves Lou.
Anytime a Team China lifter gets popped, it's just like,
yeah. And every single time a Team China lifter gets popped and a bald eagle is born.
Yeah, dude. It feeds my soul.
It does, yeah.
All right, well, guys, thank you so much for listening. We hit our hour. Ryland, tell the people where they can find you if they want to support and follow your journey.
Y'all can find me at Ryland.Shriver109. Been posting some fishing stuff. Been doing a lot of fishing. Steelhead season.
Okay, Tian Tao.
Yeah, I like fishing. Yeah, you find me at Ryland.Shriver109 on the IG. What else we got?
Yo, okay, make me a promise real quick. When you move to Georgia or outside of Atlanta and you train with Trip, you'll actually upload YouTube videos consistently.
Yeah, so I
get why you're not doing it now because you're hurt. Like,
I'm
it
hurt.
makes sense.
You don't want to see that shit. That's boring.
Yeah, nobody wants to watch rehab stuff. It is important, but it's not fun to watch.
Yeah. So the plan this summer, I'm gonna get a Mac, and I'm probably gonna buy a camera,
like
or
a real
I may
one.
just do it. Yeah, or I may just do it off my phone because I have a Mac and it'll be much easier to do. Because like this, I'm doing this whole thing off like a ThinkPad. And the ThinkPad and trying to plug in your phone and edit stuff sucks ass. It's terrible. But if I got a Mac, it'd be really easy for me to just plug my stuff over to the Mac, get it all edited up, and boom, ship it. But yes, once my shoulder is better and we're good, I'll just start spitting them out.
I need those training vlogs, dude. Yeah. I need those training vlogs.
They'll probably all be muted and stuff because there'll be top secret training and stuff going on there that you probably can't hear.
Yeah, just play like the YouTube music over it.
Just like elevator music. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be great for views.
Yeah, the non-copyrighted stuff. Yeah, there'll be top secret.
I want to see you and Hampton do like a Trend Twins type video.
Oh, just
together.
We go to like Crumble Cookie. I watch Trenton twin videos and like, dude, that would be so funny.
Ever since we talked about it, they've been popping up on my Explore so much, and I've watched a couple. They're pretty entertaining.
They're very entertaining.
I just can't. Just bodybuilding sometimes to me is so boring.
Yeah,
like, they're entertaining in everything except the training. Like I can't watch dudes do lat pull downs. It's so boring.
Those two personalities. We need two personalities like that in weightlifting. That would be so
hell yes, we do. We need some. That's what was so great about John North was like, dude, he had some personality. Like. Mm-hmm. I agree. The sport is missing that. I agree.
Yeah, but I will start pumping those out once I get there this summer and try to get everything all healed up. We get out there. Should be pumping out some stuff. I'm excited. I really don't know because, dude, if you look at Hampton, like he's 61 kilos, he's yacked. He's yacked.
Yeah, you're gonna end up being 109 kilos of yacked.
Yeah, make me like 115 and just beef.
Just beef.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. We will catch you next Sunday. I will update everyone on when we get Will back on. Will Fleming.
Hopefully here in a few weeks.
Yeah. I'll shoot him a message this week. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Follow us on Instagram at The Platform Pod. What do you like influencers say? Follow, like, subscribe.
Oh yeah, like, comment, subscribe. I think
click that bell.
Yeah, click the
bell.
So
you know when we're live because it's really important that you're here live. Like, it's a big deal.
It's super big deal.
And don't even follow me on Instagram. I don't even care. Yeah. We will see you guys next Sunday. Adios.
Adios.